Hi guys, and thanks for tuning in to today's time-lapse and studio sessions episode 14. Real quick before I begin, I just wanted to remind you guys that I'm still having my 20% off sale. The code is Solstice and you can redeem it at happyd-artist.com, and it ends July 31st. Today's topic of discussion will tackle a question that I see from many of you awesome viewers and subscribers. I get so many comments asking me how to get over a fear of sharing your artwork online, because a lot of people mention that they want to share their work and start to grow their social media or start to begin their social media journey, but they don't feel confident in the skill level they're at, or they just generally have a sense of fear and anxiety when it comes to putting yourself out there online for the world to see and for the world to judge. So people have always asked me how I began sharing my artwork online and how I got over that initial phase of feeling fearful and feeling a little bit of self-doubt. So for me, when I started sharing my artwork online, I was actually quite lucky in a way, lucky and unlucky, because it was such a long time ago that social media wasn't really trendy yet or wasn't that common. So when I began my Instagram page, I actually had no prior exposure to other art Instagrams. I had only used Instagram to share photos of my cats and occasionally a few photos of yummy food that I had eaten. So I barely had any followers, and I wasn't an active participant in like the social media or the art community online, and therefore I never really had a sense of fear going into it, because I didn't even know what to expect. I didn't even know what types of comments people would leave or what types of people were out there who were going to be viewing my content. And it wasn't until my social media began to grow that I actually started becoming an active participant in the art social media community. And then I realized that as great and warm and welcoming as it is, and to this day, I still believe that the art community online there's just a sense of family and camaraderie, and people in general feel way more supportive than some of the other industries that I've come across. But despite that, you'll always be faced with people who are going to criticize you. I remember when I got my first ever not so positive or not so encouraging piece of feedback on Instagram. It definitely hurt. It came as a surprise. I had never been, criticized by a stranger before. And then I realized something. I realized that when you put yourself out there online, when you share your art online, you are establishing a forum for potential criticism. And, with the same potential you have to make a positive difference and, connect with other people who are like-minded, connect with people who may enjoy your content or feel motivated or encouraged by it, you also have the same risk of encountering someone who might be nasty or who might disagree with you or who might just troll you for fun. And it's hard not to take those types of criticisms personally, because I think art by nature is extremely personal, and that's why people respond to it, that's why people love it, and that's why people love producing art. But when you combine something very personal and very sensitive like art with something kind of known to be a little bit toxic or a little bit controversial like social media, you get sometimes, that fear, that anxiety of not really wanting to put yourself out there. And for me, over the years, what I've learned and what's really helped me keep my head straight is to always remind myself why I'm doing art in the first place. And, remember, you're not doing art for other people. You're not doing art to get likes. You're not doing art to please anyone else or to get compliments. You are doing art for you. And if you do feel like your sole purpose or your main purpose or one of the main purposes of doing art is to get attention and get likes and get validation from other people, then I really would say that you should reconsider social media. Because social media is a very dangerous place, and the door swings both ways. When someone compliments you or shares a positive story, you'll also get sometimes a negative interaction. So you have to be prepared for it, and you have to not let that type of negative energy, or even the possibility of that type of negative energy, affect how you feel about something you truly love. Don't associate likes or comments on social media with how much you truly love your craft. And it doesn't really even require a negative comment for you to feel discouraged. Sometimes, you might share a piece of artwork that gets more likes than another piece of artwork, and that might make you feel discouraged. Or if you posted something a month ago and you got more likes then than you do now, you might feel like you're not making progress. And you just have to shut all of that out and remind yourself kind of the simple joys of creating art. And this is something that I used to always have to consciously remind myself to do, but now it's kind of second nature to me. But you just want to really indulge in and lose yourself in the joy of creating art, just the sound of your pencil against the paper, or the feeling of your brush against the canvas. And just that kind of cathartic release of being able to almost put your entire heart and soul and tell your story in a visual, beautiful way. And if you focus on that and make that your priority and relish in the joy of producing art, then I don't think social media should be as daunting, because regardless of whatever anyone says, whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't take away from your personal, profound connection with your own artwork. And that's something I really want all of you guys, especially those who are new to social media, to understand. I'm not gonna lie, social media is a very toxic, dangerous place. And from my observation, it's only gotten worse over the years. Everyone wants to voice their opinion. Nobody cares about hurting each other's feelings. And while I think it's great that we are becoming more connected and learning more about each other and the world in a more primary, direct way, I also do think that we're still, all of us, trying to learn the ropes of social media and get used to it. I don't think we're quite used to it yet. So until we get used to it, it's going to be a very dangerous, dicey place. And for people who don't respond well to criticism, it can definitely be a very discouraging place. So I always encourage people to do, I think, what's most suited for their personality. If you truly don't think you can handle the potential of the negative side of social media, then I would really discourage you from sharing your artwork online, or maybe just waiting a year or two until you build up that courage. But if you do think it's something you can handle and you're just a little bit apprehensive, then my best piece of advice to you is to focus on the simple things and to make sure that you always remind yourself that art is not about anyone besides you. And same way, when you approach other people's social media accounts, please be mindful and please be polite, and know that everyone comes from a different background. Everyone has a different story. Everyone creates art for a different purpose. You may enjoy more of an anime style. Someone else might enjoy more photorealism. And that doesn't mean that either person is wrong or right, or that either person should criticize each other for these personal choices, but rather I think we should embrace the nature of art, which is, in my opinion at least, just being able to tell your story and share your world in a visual narrative that other people can connect with. And as long as we keep that kind of positive message in mind, I think hopefully, starting with the individual, we can all make social media a more enjoyable place, and hopefully a less daunting place for those of us out there who are a little bit more shy. And yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys with that. Don't be afraid to share your artwork online, as long as you focus on what's really important, and that is you as an artist, your personal connection with your work, and the happiness and joy you feel from being able to create your work. And I think with that mindset, you'll be able to really shut off all of those negative voices of social media and really pay attention to the positive aspects of social media, which is be able to participate in a community with like-minded individuals and be able to connect with people who are very similar to you, who will also motivate and encourage you right back, and just establishing that great network of joy and encouragement. Alrighty guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you all so much for your support, for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm truly grateful to have you guys as a part of my YouTube family. And until next time, I will catch you later, and I hope you have a lovely week. Bye!